Well, the news just keeps getting worse and worse, considering all the major closings and demolishing of the roller coasters and these attractions that Cedar Fair, since acquiring Six Flags Company in 2024. Now, what we thought was a clean sweep and just maybe going through and cleaning up a little bit has now turned into a panic amongst the roller coaster enthusiast community and all these things happening within the major closings of rides that have been abruptly instant and unannounced through a majority of the rides and unexpected. And now the rumors just keep getting worse that at this point, the company is now going to look into the parks themselves. Since acquiring Six Flags Company and owning now about 42 or more parks together, the company has decided to look at everything and not just closing rides, but now closing the parks themselves permanently. This is actually extremely concerning due to the fact that a majority of the amusement parks in America, really, the biggest two companies now in the theme park industry, which is Cedar Fair and Six Flags now together, really make up to me certainly, a main majority of some of the parks in America. Now, there are a lot of smaller parks and things in other places, but the two big companies in America that have the two biggest names of amusement parks are the Six Flags and Cedar Fair. The fact now that they're thinking of closing the parks, who knows? I mean, it's really just, it's very concerning. There are parks, personally, that I think could close. There are parks that could go down, maybe one or two, possibly. One of them, for me, would be Six Flags America in Maryland. I've never been. And okay, I've never been there, but what I've heard and I've seen through pictures and things, it's just a park that if it were on the chopping block, it probably would be for the best if the company were to maybe close that place down. But this is very difficult because the roller coaster community now is just kind of like in waiting to see what happens to some of these main parks. Now, we all know that Six Flags Great America is closing down soon enough. Cedar Fair closed or bought the land. I forget how that worked, but they are soon closing considering they canceled all their fall events for this year. Another big concern right now is this whole Geauga Lake thing that closed down in 2007 after Cedar Fair acquired the land for Geauga Lake, and shortly after that closed it down, sold the park, demolished it. I can see that, but on this scale, it's even more concerning because it's not just one park they're looking at to close down. It's multiple. Some of these places that I don't think should be closed down, they are looking to close down. One big one is King's Dominion. I think one park for me that has me concerned is the closing of King's Dominion. I love King's Dominion. I've been there multiple times. They have a great lineup of roller coasters. You know, it's a nice park. I like King's Dominion really, probably better than King's Island. Having said that, is there things they could do with King's Dominion? Yes, there are certain things they could have done with King's Dominion years ago. On the other hand, with that, recently they have added one or two new roller coasters after being like not adding to anything since 2010. 2010 they added Intimidator 305, which is now being revamped as I forget how to even announce it, Panthurian. Very similar to Pantheon, which, you know, and since the removal of Volcano, that area has sat vacant for the longest time and now has finally been decided to be revamped with new rides and attractions. Hopefully, that's a good sign that King's Dominion will stay. I'm hoping. On the other hand, they did get rid of their Winterfest for this year. But we'll have to see what happens with that. And as I said, there are just so many things just being closed down. And right now, I think they're, as a company, just looking, you know, to see what they can do. To the extreme, it sounds like. But time will tell. At this point, the roller coaster community and the season for this year just looks so choppy. You know, they're saying 2026 is going to be the big year, but at what cost? At what cost is it going to make 2026 a big year when you have really taken out a majority of rides and attractions that on some of them necessarily didn't have to be taken out, you know, just to maybe put one big ride, which really they better hope and pray will make up for the taking out of the attractions that you took out. Some of them I can see that needed to go. Some of them that I wish they could have stayed. What will happen? We don't know. Time will tell, but it just seems to be getting more choppy and worse. Hope things turn around.